Hi everybody, myself Sridevi GM. We will look at other collision resolution techniques. So one of them is called as double hashing. As the name indicates, we are going to use two hash functions in order to hash your data. So initially let us assume that the first hash function generates the address 3 and 3 is already occupied by some other key. So we will have to look for an other space in order to store your key. So we will be using another hash function which will generate a new number. So this number whatever is generated, that is added with the original address in order to find your new address. So that is 3 was the original address which was generated by your first hash function. So this is added with the value generated by the second hash function. So we get the next value as 7. We are going to look at the address 7 to see if it is already occupied. If 7 is also occupied, we are going to add the same number 4 to the value until you find a free address space. So 7 plus 4 will be the next value if the address 7 is already occupied. So 7 plus 4 gives you 11. So we are going to look at the address 11 to see if it is free. If it is free, chain progressive overflow will use links in order to keep track of the keys which goes to the same address or which have the same home address. Now we will look at a problem which is there in your progressive overflow. As you know, in progressive overflow, if there is a collision, we will look for next addresses until a free space is found. Now these are the home addresses generated for these particular keys. We have resolved the collision by using progressive overflow. So these will be the actual addresses where the data is stored. And this is the search length, as we know how it was calculated in your previous example. Same way the search length is calculated in this case. It might take multiple searches to look for a particular data. We will see that last key Ferguson, the home address is actually 20. The address 20 is actually occupied by Adam. So it keeps on looking for a free space, and if it finds a free space at the address 25. If I am doing a search for the element Ferguson, it takes 6 number of searches because the search starts with the address 20 until it reaches address 25. So the number of searches taken in case of progressive overflow is more. The purpose of chained progressive overflow was to reduce the number of searches it takes in order to find a particular record. So we will see how that works. We have taken an example of a few keys, the same keys which we had seen in the previous example, and these are the home addresses and these will be the actual addresses where it is stored. So same way as your progressive overflow, we are going to do the insertion, but when you are doing the insertion, we will use one more column which is the address of the next synonym. That is, those who have the same address space, we are going to link them. We will see an example. So we have already stored the data into the hash table. As you can see, Adam is at the address 20, Ferguson at the address 25. Now what we are going to do is we are going to link the synonyms. So what are synonyms? Synonyms are those keys which have the same hash address. So Adam and Kathy and Ferguson, these three are called as synonyms because all three have the same home address. Now since Adam address is 20, we will look at the next element which has the same address 20, that is Kathy. Kathy, as you can see, it is stored at the address 22. So along with Adam, we are going to store the address of Kathy, which is 22. So this is how you are going to link the synonyms. Now with Kathy, who else has the same home address? So that is the key Ferguson has the same home address. So we are going to link them in the same way. That is, Ferguson's address is 25. So along with Kathy, we are going to store the address 25 to indicate that the next synonym will be at the address 25. As you can see, after Ferguson, no other keys have a same home address. So we are going to indicate it with -1. Coming to Brian, Brian goes to address 21. Now we will look at the synonym for Brian, that is, who has the same home address as Brian, that is Don. Where is Don stored? At the address 23. So 23 will be stored in this particular location along with Brian to indicate the synonym. There are no other keys which have the same home address 21. So along with Don, we are going to just indicate it with -1 to indicate that there are no other synonyms with the same home address. Edna goes to address 24, and as you can see there are no keys with the same home address, so again we will be indicating with -1. Now when you search for any particular record, let us see how it helps in reducing the number of searches. In the previous example, we saw that Ferguson was taking 6 searches because it started with address 20, then it kept searching. This is first search, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth search. So at the sixth search you were able to find the key Ferguson at the location 25. Now we will see how we can reduce the number of searches by using chained progressive overflow. Ferguson's address is 20, so the search starts with the address 20. Since we have the address of next synonym, we are going to look at the next address space, that is 22. So we are directly going to address 22 to do your search. This was your first search, this will be the second search. So as you can see at the address 22, the key Ferguson is not found. So again we will look at the next value, that is address 25. So in the address 25 you will be looking for the key Ferguson which is found. So this will be the third search. So number of searches has been reduced to half the searches it took in the previous example. So we can improve the performance by using chained progressive overflow, which is just linking the keys. Now we will look at the problem in your chained progressive overflow. Let us just change the address for Dawn as 22. So previously the address for Dawn was 21, we are just taking the address as 22. We have generated the home addresses and we are storing the data as per your progressive overflow as was done in the previous examples. We have stored the synonyms. So Adam and Kathy and Ferguson are the synonyms. So we will just link them by using chained progressive overflow. For Brian it is 21. So 21 we are looking for the next synonym. So there is no other key which has the same address, so it should be -1 here. Now let us look for Dawn. So when you look for Dawn, it says that it should be at the home address 22. Now when you look at home address 22, you can see that it is occupied by Kathy. So we will look at the next synonym. So next synonym it says is at the address 25. When you look at address 25, it says Ferguson and there are no other synonyms. So even though the element Dawn is present in your hash table, it still says that it is not present because address 22 has been occupied by a key with the home address 20, which is not the same as the address of Dawn. So even if you try to find Dawn, it will say it is not present because the link is not present anywhere. So in order to overcome this, what we will do is we will be using 2-pass loading. 2-pass loading indicates that we will store the data in 2 passes instead of in a single pass. So we will see here. So it involves loading the file in 2 passes. On the first pass, only home records are loaded. That is, if we have 2 keys with the same address, only one of them will be stored. The other key will be stored in the second pass. So on the second pass, overflow records or synonyms, what we saw, those will be stored in the second pass. So we will see how it works. So in this case, same example. So we will take unique addresses and store those keys first. So you can see 20, 21 are unique. 20 is again a synonym. 22 is a unique address. 24 is also a unique address. So initially we are going to store these particular records. So these actual addresses will change. So this becomes 22 in this case. Now once it is done, synonyms are going to be stored. So synonyms here are 20. So these are the only addresses which are duplicates. Now we are going to store the data which are synonyms. So Kathy should be stored at the address 20, which is occupied. 21 is checked, again occupied. 22 is checked. So now we will store it in address 23. Same way we are going to store the next one, Ferguson. We will try to store at the address 20. Since it is occupied, we are going to look for the next spaces and we will be storing it in address 25. Now we are going to keep the links for the synonyms. So Adam, Kathy and Ferguson should be linked. So we are going to link based on their actual addresses. So as you can see, Adam and Kathy. Kathy's address is 23, so 23 will be stored here. So along with Kathy, Kathy has synonym Ferguson. So Ferguson is at the address 25. So 25 will be stored here. So this is how you are going to store your data. So Brian has no synonyms. So as you can see, there is no other key which has the same address. So we are indicating it with -1. Same way, Don at the address 22. So 22 there are no synonyms. So again it is -1. Even for Edna, it is a unique address. There are no synonyms. So -1. Ferguson also, there is only one key with the address 20. After this, there are no other keys with the address 20. So you are going to end it with -1. So this way we are going to do a 2-pass loading. Now if I search for Don, so it will look at the address 22, so which is found in this particular location, and you will be able to find the data without any problems. So this is why you need to do 2-pass loading when you are using chained progressive overflow. Let us take a look at other collision resolution techniques. So one of them is chaining with a separate overflow area. In this, we are going to keep the overflow records in a different address space instead of the primary data area. Primary data area you are going to use to store your unique records, whereas synonyms or the overflow records will be stored in overflow area, and we will be using chaining, that is linking the same as your previous example. So as you can see, Adam, Brian, Edna. So these are the 3 keys which are unique. These 3 will be stored in their respective addresses. So Adam, Brian and Edna are stored. In the overflow area, we are going to store the synonyms or overflow records. So those who have same addresses as the previously stored data, that is Kathy same address as Adam, Don same address as Brian. Ferguson also is a overflow record because it goes to the same address 20 as Adam. So in the overflow area, we are going to store the overflow records. Now we are going to do the linking as we had done in the previous example. So along with Adam, I need to store the address of Kathy because both are going to the same address. So Kathy is at the address 0. So we are going to store 0 along with Adam. So 0 will be stored here. With Kathy, we need to store the address of Ferguson because they are synonyms. So Ferguson, as you can see, is at the address 2. So along with Kathy, you will be storing the address 2. After Ferguson, there are no records which have the same address, so it will be indicated with -1. Brian, we will look at the synonym. So Brian's synonym is Don because both are going to the same address. So we will look at the address of Don, which is 1. So 1 will be stored along with Brian. After Don, there are no keys which have the same address 21, so we will indicate it with -1. Edna, so there are no keys with address 24 other than Edna, so again this will be indicated as -1. So this is what we will get as a result in case of your chaining with a separate overflow area. So this is your last technique, which uses something like a linked list structure in order to store the synonyms. So this is called as your scatter tables. So address space or your hash table is indicated in this format. So we are going to store the data by using a linked list nodes. So as you can know, for each key we will create a node. So and this hash address or hash table will just keep the links to those particular nodes. So as you can see, Adam goes to address 20. There is one more which goes to address 20, that is Kathy. So we are simply going to link them in this format. Brian goes to address 21. And also Don goes to address 21. So Edna goes to address 24. So this is how you are going to store your data into your scatter table. So this comes to the end of your different collision resolution techniques. I hope it is clear. Thank you.